Hello, good morning, children. Welcome to DO Nalgonda in collaboration with Elta Nalgonda, creating digital content for class 6th. Dear students, in the A reading, you have learnt about a great women athlete, PT Usha. Her hard work and determination brought her success. She brought laurels to our country. Children, look at the picture. Here you can see a few players holding a cup. Children, which game do you think they play? They play cricket. They are cricketers. Are they in a joyful mood or in a sorrowful mood? Yes, they are happy. They are in a joyful mood. Children, why do you think they are in a cheerful mood? They won the World Cup. Children, how do the players feel when they lose the game? When they get beaten by the other side? They feel sad. They feel nervous. They get upset for a short period of time. Children, do the players get hurt? Yes, they do get hurt. They receive injuries. They often get injured. Children, how often do you watch cricket on TV? Whenever there is a match. How do we feel when India wins a match? We feel elated. We get excited. Children, children, today I would like to teach you a poem, Indian cricket team. This poem celebrates the Indian team. Before we go to the poem, have a look at the objectives. Here, the students will be able to read and enjoy the poem, appreciate the theme and the features of a poem, try to guess the meanings of the unfamiliar words from the context, compose a poem. These are the objectives. And students, there are a few unfamiliar words in the poem. Let us learn about the unfamiliar words which are given in the glossary part. So umpire. An umpire is a person whose job is to make sure that a sport match is played fairly. So an umpire is a man who acts as a judge. He makes sure that everybody follows or obey the rules of a game. So he acts as a judge. Toss. An act of throwing a coin into the air in order to make a decision based on which side the coin falls on. So here, children, so toss, an act of throwing a coin into the air in order to make a decision based on which side the coin falls on. So flipping a coin, we toss to make a decision. We toss to decide which side should play first in a game. Right, coming to the word fence. So here in this context, fence means boundary. You may have heard about the boundary line, and the last word is blazing. Blazing means burning brightly, burning brightly. So, dear children, let us move on to the next slide. So here, this page shows the poem Indian Cricket Team. Here you can see two pictures. So, dear children, you read the poem 2 or 3 times silently. Before you do that, pause this video and read it silently. Okay, dear students, now I would like to summarize the poem for you. Indian cricket team, when the umpire puts the toss, Dhoni is the boss. So here you can see Dhoni and Ricky Ponting, the man who is in black suit is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He represents the Indian team. The man who is in green suit or green coat is Ricky Ponting. He represents the Australian team. So here, when the umpire puts the toss, Dhoni is the boss. So Dhoni wins the toss. Dhoni is the lucky charm of the Indian cricket. So he wins the toss. Ricky Ponting loses the toss. Dhoni elects to bat. When Gambhir hits a century, Brett Lee goes for a knee injury. So Gautam Gambhir, a brilliant batsman who is at the crease, he bats well, he scores 100 runs. At this juncture, Brett Lee receives a knee injury. So he gets hurt. When Sehwag hits the ball to the fence, Ponting becomes tense. When Sehwag hits the ball to the fence, Sehwag, again one of the fantastic, excellent, finest batsmen in the world, he hits the ball to the fence. He hits 4s and 6s. Ponting, the captain of the Australian side, he becomes tense. He becomes nervous. He gets upset. So the Australian team is under pressure. So now it is the turn of the Australian team to bat. When Taylor's runout is taken to the third umpire's decision. So Ross Taylor, an Australian batsman, he is at the crease. So he hits the ball, he strikes the ball. A good piece of fielding by the Indian player. He throws the ball straight to the wicket. The Indian side goes for an appeal. The third umpire declares him out. He loses, Ross Taylor loses his position. He loses his position. Third umpire declares him out. Ross Taylor, he goes back to the pavilion. When India is in need of a run, down goes the blazing sun. So whenever India is in need of a run, even the sun doesn't want the Indian side losing the game. When India gets the cup, they raise it up. When India gets the cup, they raise it up. When India wins the match, or they raise it up, they celebrate it. Even the whole nation celebrates the triumph, the victory of the Indian team. So this is all, and this is the summary of the poem Indian Cricket Team. I hope you understood it well. And coming to the appreciation part of the poem, so here there are a few rhyming pairs. So let us have a look at the rhyming words. Toss. Toss rhymes with the word boss. Toss, boss. Century, injury. Fence, tense. Run, sun. Cup, up. And here there are a few comprehension questions to check your understanding. Dear students, so here are a question. Here, what does the poem talk about? Which teams are competing? Who won the toss? Who scored a century? Who became tense? What does the Indian team do when they win the cup? So, children, what does the poem talk about? The poem talks about the Indian cricket team. The poem talks about the Indian cricket team. Which teams are competing? The Indian and Australian teams are competing. Who won the toss? MS Dhoni won the toss. Who scored a century? Gautam Gambhir scored a century. Who became tense? Ponting became tense. What does the Indian team do when they win the cup? The Indian team raise it up. The Indian side, what do? They raise it. They raise it up. They celebrate the triumph. They celebrate the victory. Now, children, dear children, you can replace the names in the poem with the other team players. You can compose a new poem by replacing the Indian and Australian players with other